Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning. Got an absolutely amazing broadcast. You know what this is. You know what today is. Today is Wednesday, June the 9th. June the 9th, and this is what we call Way Out Wednesday. Way Out Wednesday. This is the day where you become yeah, yeah, no, you right there. You right there. Yeah. You become the boss. And whatever you want to talk about, all you have to do is give us a call, 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Give us a call and we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about and talk about it in its entirety. Talk about it in its entirety. So you need to give us a call today. If there's something on your heart, your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit, or whatever that you want to talk about, if you have a question about whatever it is, hold on. I had to wet my whistle just a little bit. There we go. And you want to talk about it, you can give us a call, 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Give us a call and let's talk about it. Let's have this opportunity and this chance to talk and talk through whatever it is that's on your heart. If we gotta do some research, whatever we got to do, we're willing and ready to do it right here with you. We're ready and willing to do it right here with you. So all you have to do is again give us a call, 678-381-1973. Y'all like how I do that? 1973 678-381-1973. Give us a call just in case somebody, I'm a little country sometime. I'm a little country, but I'm a little cool. And so if just in case somebody is out there and they couldn't understand what I was saying, 678-381-1973. Um there's a lot going on in the world. Michael Jackson said it in this way. He said, "In this world, there's much confusion. I've seen the city life, but it's not for me." Now he also go on to say, he want to find his destiny. If it's the rich life, he don't want it. Now, how many of us are willing to say that if it's the rich life, we don't want it? If it's the rich life, we don't want it. My thing is, because so many people think that money is the cure. And there's a couple of songs out there that say money is the cure to end all your woes, your ups, your downs, your highs, and your lows. Do you believe that? Do you believe money is do you think the money is the answer? And if money is the answer, why do you have so many wealthy people, millionaires, if you will, committing suicide and killing themselves? If money is the answer, why do you have these people doing these things? Um, and Biggie said it. More money, more problems. He said, more money, more problems. He said, the more money he get, the more problems he have, and the more issues he have to deal with that you don't have to deal with if you're not a rich man. I don't. I'm not gonna call anybody poor, but but some people gonna call and say, well, they say it in the Bible, the poor will always be among us. Yeah, well, some of the rich people. Can you be rich and poor at the same time? Can you be rich and poor? And that's one of the questions I'm gonna pose today. I want to ask that question. I'm gonna write it down so I won't forget. Can you be rich and poor at the same time? Can you be rich? I'm gonna write it down and poor at the same time. What do you think about that? 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Got quite a few people that's coming in, and I'm definitely appreciate the fact that you're here. Comment, call in, or text in the chat box and tell me what you think about that. Is it possible to be rich and poor at the same time? Is that possible? Is that something that can happen? What do you think about that? Is it possible to be rich and poor at the same time? And some of you scholars go come here with all these high technical answers, and I like it when y'all do because it does it's good for conversation, communication. It's real good for that, and that's what we do here on radio. We talk, we have communications. Do we always agree? Absolutely not. Should we agree? Should we agree for the sake of having good and great radio? No, no, we should not always agree. I'm not gonna always agree with what you say and what you're calling in about, and you're certainly not gonna always agree with what I say across these airwaves. I try to take a certain responsibility. I try and take a certain responsibility in how I display and put different things out there. But are you always gonna agree with me? Absolutely not. We're not going to agree with each other. So I want you to call in if you get an opportunity, if you have a chance, call in or even text in the box to the side. Text on and post it and I read what you say. But my thing is this right here. Can you be rich and poor at the same time? My answer to that question is absolutely. Yes. Yes, you can. You can be rich and poor at the same time. I'll explain that to you later. But I want to know what you think right now. Can you be rich and poor at the same time? Can you love someone and hate somebody at the same time? Can you love somebody and hate somebody at the same time? Is that possible? Is it, to be madly in love with them, but just can't stand them? Is that a possibility? Or is some people at the mindset that either you're gonna love them or you're gonna hate them? You can't do both. You cannot do both. We got a call coming through. Caller, good morning. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, good morning. It's Tucson.
Where you calling from?
Buck Tussle.
What name of it?
Arkansas.
What name of
Buck
it?
Tussle. Buck Tussle. It's actually Opelousas.
That's cuz.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
Don,
you can't pronounce.
I can't pronounce it. Hey, I'm not good at. I went to public school, brother. I'm not good at that kind of thing.
Uh-oh.
If we got more than 5 letters in, I have issues sometimes, brother. If we got more than 5 letters, I have some issues. But listen to this, Don. Let me ask you a question, man. Is it possible to be rich and poor at the same time?
Yes, sir. I'll answer that quick.
Mm-hmm.
I'll answer that quick. That
Mm-hmm.
don't take me long at all because I've been rich and poor for a long time.
Now, how can go ahead?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, it's a mindset.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you value,
Mm-hmm.
what's important
Mm-hmm.
to you. See, I got a large family that's rich,
Mm-hmm.
and then we don't fall out. We disagree,
Yeah.
but we don't fall out.
Mm-hmm.
That's a richness. That's a richness that some people will never have.
Mm-hmm.
They got thousands, millions of dollars, but they unhappy.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
They 2 steps from suicide.
Good Lord. With all that money.
Yeah, fat, looking like a fat rat,
Mm.
but they lonely. I'm good in a crowd of one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not selfish, but I'm good when I don't have people around me. That's a
Mm-hmm.
richness. Then I'm happy with me, not the conditions, some of the conditions that I have, because I have some even financial needs.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be surprised. I think that I told you what it cost for me to have
Yeah.
a peace of mind.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
remember?
Yeah, I remember.
And we ain't gonna share that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember exactly what you said.
But
Yep.
that's more than people. That's more than people will make in a couple of years.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
But I'm rich and poor
Mm-hmm.
at the same time. So go ahead. I just wanted to come in on you, but sure, I can answer that quick because I have a different value in life. These material things, they ain't worth a dime
Mm-hmm.
because I've never seen nobody um, escorted their U-Haul to the graveyard.
Exactly. Now let me ask you the second part of my question. Is it possible to love someone and to hate them at the same time? That's a little more tricky, huh? Donna, you there? I can't hear you, brother. Tucson, you there? I think we might have lost him. Something just happened with the line there. I think we might have lost him, but it was gonna be very interesting to hear his take on this one right here. Whether you could be in love with someone and hate them at the same time. But hopefully we'll be able to get him back in a little bit. I know he said he had a little something to take care of. So maybe he had to step away for a second. But Tucson, if you're still there, man, clear your line and let me know what you think about that particular question because it's very interesting. And some people say you can. Some people say you can love someone and hate them at the same time. But there's two different. To me, there's two different extremes. Because if you're gonna love them, that's an extreme. If you're gonna hate them, that's absolutely an extreme. So how could you do both? Or how could you love them and hate them at the same time? How could that be possible? Some say it is. Some say they have done it. My thing is, I question how because if you love them with an absolute, there go Donald. Donald, you back?
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I'm
good.
sorry I missed some of it, but that's okay.
Okay.
You on the right path. You right down my alley.
Good
I'm
deal.
telling you.
Yes, sir. So let me ask you the question, Donald. Is it possible to love someone and hate them at the same time?
Now that's a strong word.
Mm-hmm.
I may hate what they do, but I love them to the grave.
Wow.
Even if I have to love them from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
See, I got some family members I don't fool with
Mm-hmm.
because they're crazy. 'Cause I'm crazy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We are alike. We have the same blood running through our veins.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
So we have some um, similar or familiar spirits going on with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And if we go to clashing, then we're detrimental to each other's lives. Remember Cain and
Mm-hmm.
Abel? That
Mm-hmm.
that jealousy and envy and strife can come in the family and mess the family up, and they'll start killing each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So I have some family members that are not welcome at my house. Love
Mm-hmm.
them. I love them. I'm telling you. But you're not going to bring that drama because you got drama going on in your life. You want to
Mm-hmm.
tell me all about your business because I know your business because you put it on Facebook,
Yes, sir. Yes,
social
sir.
media.
Mm-hmm.
So I know how you act. Then you think it's all about you. Don't bring that to me.
That's right.
Then you all you want to do is drink and smoke and you want to have a party. You ain't gonna have a party. I had a cousin love him to death. He calls me every once in a while and he tells me, he says, love you because I just want to holler at you and he hangs up the phone
Mm.
because he co- he and he's a certain way. He
Mm-hmm.
came to my house and we had a dinner at the house and him and his brother and their girlfriends or wives, whatever, came to the house. And we were just talking and something was said. He said, oh, he said, I'm gonna put you out of this house. I said, I sure will.
Mm.
So so he all of a sudden he went outside, him and his friend. They went outside. And we was all continuous to talk and we was having our type of good time. Because when we gather the family as a family, you have to bring your own bottle because we don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some may,
Mm-hmm.
but we some they different way. So we got kinfolk that like to party.
Mm-hmm.
So we sitting in the house and we just happen to watch TV and laughing and all of a sudden I hear some music on the outside and I go out there and him and his girlfriend are dancing in the yard. I say, oh, uh, I say, you're disturbing my neighbors.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't disturb my neighbors. If they need something, I'll help them. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have no long conversation with people. I don't no, don't introduce yourself too much. I don't want to know all of that, your business and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they were there. I said, cuz let me tell you what I'm gonna do. I said, get your CD out of your radio and you can come in the house, bring your little drink, whatever else you're doing, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But bring your little drink and you can come over in the house. But you can't disturb my neighbors.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
So
Mm.
He came to the house, but 15 minutes later, he hit the road.
What you do to the man, don't?
No, I love him, but I don't care for some of the actions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate him. It's just that some things that others do, and who am I? I got faults and failures too.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we mess up. Is we start to hate them, and that ain't the right thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I don't like what a person does, but that don't mean I don't like them. Yeah, that's people. We work with people, and I know I'm talking a lot for a change. You're
Mm-hmm.
right down my alley, I'm telling you, man.
Yes,
Because
sir.
when we talk about rich and poor,
Mm-hmm.
the scripture tells us don't lay your treasures on earthly things,
Mm-hmm. That's right.
where wrath and rust and moth eat it up.
Mm-hmm.
And they got people, and you can imagine how much people are spending on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Stuff.
I saw this. These big trucks that they just um, uh, over the off road vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the huge one that they spend millions of dollars on,
Yes, sir.
and they just flip them over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there are people that trying to find a ride,
Yep. Yep. But see
but
how much,
that's what they value.
and that's exactly where I was about to go with you, man. What does that say about the value system or a person's value system and what they value? Because some people don't even value. Truth doesn't matter. Some people don't even value their own life, so they certainly don't value nobody else's.
Exactly. You get and people do what they want.
Mm-hmm.
But here's people that don't value people's lives. Here's the way that they enter into their game. They say just go out there and prove yourself to us,
Mm-hmm.
and just walk up to somebody and shoot them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Life is not important to everybody. Your life is not important to everybody that it is to you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and not only that, there's people that will go the extra mile for other folks that don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what you value in your life, what's your mindset.
And
Because this society is crazy. It's amazing how um, uh, Raheem, we can spend millions and trillions of dollars going to Mars
mm-hmm.
to try to figure out how we can survive just in case the meteor comes and clashes with the earth,
Mm-hmm.
and to have a peace of mind. But we can't get peace walking across the street right here.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm gonna tell you something. The way I see it, people say we got all this technology. We could tell when this can happen, when that can happen. We could tell. But listen, the way I see it, Donna, and you correct me if I'm wrong, brother. But if God wanted to happen, you ain't gonna see it coming. I don't care what kind
Who
of
who
technology.
who
Go ahead.
who saw this pandemic coming?
That's right.
Well, them prophets said.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right.
I know they say that they prophesied this,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
where is the prophecy?
I had lost confidence in a lot of them when when Donald Trump was in office, and they said, "Man, this thing is crazy, ain't it?" Well, God spoke to me, and He told me He's going to do a second term. He's going to do a back-to-back term. He's going to do it. He's going
Oh,
to be in office
really?
again. And you got so many people, man, that came up, quote unquote prophet, that has a spirit of the gifts of prophecy, and they can prophesy. And they sit there and they say that, yeah, he's gonna get a second term. God spoke to me in a dream, or came to me plain as day, and said that he's gonna do two terms back to back. He's gonna get right back in office. Well, if I'm not mistaken, Biden is the president right now, ain't
And I'm mistaken too.
he?
And even after they done laid their hand on the wall and put their hand on him and circled around him like, And I'm not saying they're not prophets. I would even go as far as not saying that they're not prophets,
Mm-hmm.
because false prophets always existed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We just got to wait to see what they say is going to work out. And here's just me, and I'm not for the prophets and sister prophetesses. Sisters, I don't mean any harm. I don't know who God called.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But why not focus on what he has already said? And
Come
you
on.
won't get yourself caught in a lie.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You want to tell me how much money I'm going to get, or I'm going to come into some money. Guess what? I already know it, because I will work
Mm-hmm.
and I'll keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not telling me how much money I'm going to come into. And don't send me nothing on my Facebook page or my inbox or my thing talking about if you send this, or you share this with say. When did God start working through Facebook?
I have no idea. I missed that. I missed that right there. That memo. I didn't get it, brother. I didn't get it. I did not get that
Hmm.
memo. But my thing is this right here, and they'll do that in a second. In a New York second, they'll do that. And my
And
thing,
they'll get some shares too.
yeah, likes and sharing, all kind of stuff be going on with it. But my thing is right here: if a person say they're a prophet, say they have the the gift of prophecy, you will never know. You will never know, Donald, until they open their mouth.
Hmm. Yeah,
You'll never
it's
know.
like a it's like a wise man and a fool.
Yeah.
If they just shut up,
Mm-hmm.
they won't reveal a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as they open their mouth,
You'll
you'll
know
find out.
which is which. And it won't
Yeah,
and it won't take long to determine who's who, which is which.
you got a Bible under each arm,
Mm-hmm.
and didn't even know the man can't read.
Exactly. Exactly. Man, when you said, I thought about this movie back in the day, old Western movie. I can't think of the name of it, but I'm sure you've seen it. Where the preacher man, he was an outlaw, but he disguised himself as a preacher man, and he was robbing people, doing all kind of things, and they came to get him, and they finally caught up. They caught up with him. The guy was gonna kill him. The guy said, "I got you. I've been searching, hunting you down all this time. You met your end. You met your end." The guy said, "Well, look at here. That's okay. You got me, and you did real good. You tracked me down." He said, "But if it's okay with you, can I say a prayer before I meet my end? Can I say a prayer?" And the guy looked at him. He said, "Ain't nothing wrong with that. Go ahead and say your prayer." He said, "Well, I'm gonna go to the scripture and I'm gonna read the scripture before I pray." Guy said, "Okay." Guy got relaxed. He got real comfortable with himself. Going, "I got him. It's over. It's over. This is the end of the road." This guy opened up his Bible, reached inside his Bible. He had cut out where he cut out the shape of a gun, had a gun inside his Bible, reached in like he's gonna get the word, shot and killed the man.
He had the whole arm of God.
That's I'm like, man, this dude, man. And that's, hey, that's exactly what he did, man. And that's how he escaped, because he had cut out the shape, had a little what you call it, Dellinger, whatever you call it.
Derringer,
Yeah, had in
Derringer, yeah.
one shot inside of the Bible,
Yeah.
and
Well,
all he needed was one bullet.
yeah. But you know what? You know what? You say that, and when you start telling the story, I thought about my dad. Strange. He had a seven shot Derringer in
Good
his
Lord.
briefcase,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and he carried it around all the time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And
Yeah,
they work. They had some kick on. They had some kick now.
man, yeah,
They had,
yeah.
yes sir.
But his had seven bullets.
How the what he I ain't never seen that before, man.
I'm telling you, when he passed it disappeared, I wanted that thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
But that's why I say I love some of my family. but I don't hate the stuff that they do.
Yeah, yeah. hmm And and
It'll be-
and that's worth something too. If it's still around, that's worth something.
yeah, somebody got it.
Yeah, that's worth something right there. But Donald,
Yeah,
this is way out Wednesday, brother. What's on your heart though? Talk to me about what's on your heart.
I think I'm troubled.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just sitting here with you today, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm troubled about. I received a phone call
Mm-hmm.
from a young lady, and she was about 29. She said she was 28, and she says, "Oh, I got to talk to somebody." And I want those that's listening in public, if I don't say nothing else, listen just for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "I'm troubled." She said, "I want to go back to church." She says, "But." And my friends, they come to me and they talk to me, and the young folks, they come talk to me. And she says, but they say they don't want to go to church because they don't want to be shunned
Mm-hmm.
and pushed aside.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
she says, I'm looking, but we don't trust the adults,
Yeah.
and they don't trust us.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
You know, we want to hand this baton over to somebody, but ain't nobody reaching out to get it. And then what we do is we say that we're going to pass the baton to the younger generation, but
Mm-hmm.
we hold on to it. We
Mm-hmm.
say we want to talk to them, but we won't listen.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's going over and over and over again. And I'm kind of like, you know what? I ended the conversation with. I says, "Look, I know you don't trust this, but I want you to trust me so that we can start the revolving conversation. And when we get it nurtured up, we'll, those that don't want to listen and got their own agenda will have it already functioning so that when they get ready, we just move, do what we're doing."
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna see how
Mm-hmm.
that works out. But hey, young folks don't trust us, man.
Yeah. Exactly. And Donald, if we're gonna be transparent and totally honest, now certainly not all of us, but there's an element in our community, in our age group, in our bracket that have not given them a reason to trust us.
Huh.
There's an element that
Yeah,
we haven't given a reason to trust us because of some of the actions and interactions that we have with them. We sometimes, and each generation is different. Each generation is different. And the phone lines are open. Got quite a few people tuning in. Phone lines are open. Give us a call, 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. And the way our parents used to do it and interacted with us and stuff like that, they may have been hard on us, but we knew they cared. We knew they cared,
hmm,
and they showed us that they cared in the things. Even though they told us what we needed to do and let us know what we needed to do. We were still to the point, Donald, where we'll run through a brick wall for them because we knew that people don't care how much you know; they want to know how much you care, and we knew that the older generation cared for us.
yeah,
Have we done
yeah.
that for the younger folks, Donald? Have we done that? We talk bad.
Well,
We
see,
talk bad
see,
about. Go ahead.
we kind of you right. We talk bad about it,
Mm-hmm.
but we did the same thing that they're doing. We just didn't have the same technology they had.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We live in a technological world, and they have more at their access
Mm-hmm.
than we have. If they want to know something, all they got to do is pull it up. We had to actually. We talk about how ignorant the young folks are, but see, they don't have to have a book. They can Google it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
my young nephew, this guy, 14, I think he was 14 years old. Him and his little friend, they wanted to uh, fix him a car. So
Mm-hmm.
they got in the yard. They bought one car for the engine and the other one for the body. And they
Wow.
Googled
Mm-hmm.
how to get it to the point. And that boy cranked that car in the garage. So did.
Mm.
At
Wow.
14 years old.
See that. But see, some folks say that though. Mm, see, I want to be careful how I do this. Right? We got Badger with us as
Yeah.
well. Gonna go to him in just a second. But some people would say that technically they're smarter, but they're dumber. Does that make sense?
Hmm. Yeah, but yeah, I know what they're saying. It's just because you take a 4 and a 5, a 3, a 2, a 1, almost a 16-month-old child. You're a child. And they'll grab your phone and
Mm.
unlock it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you'll forget your password.
Mm-hmm.
How
Mm-hmm.
about that? For smart or dumb.
Yeah. And see, but the thing about it, Donald, we didn't have all this technology, this Google and all this stuff that they have today. We didn't have all that. If we wanted to find out something, we had to go to them encyclopedias, man, World Book or Britannica or
Mm-hmm.
whatever it was, One World, whatever and we had to go and search it. And you had to get a different encyclopedia for whatever it is. You want to learn about
Mm-hmm.
this, you had to go to that encyclopedia, whatever letter it is, and find it, research, and man, look here. I promise you, a lot of these kids don't have no idea how to go into the library with index card and use
Mm-hmm.
index cards in the index box to find what they need.
They don't need that. They don't need that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's just uh, uh, they have another access. Man, they could do stuff that'll blow your mind. That blow your mind. I'm telling you, these kids. This young lady told me that we can't understand the 28 and 29 year olds. She says, but I got friends that have children
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
are 11,
Mm-hmm.
and you think that I'm somebody to communicate with. What do you think about somebody that has a child
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I have a problem communicating with? You can't sit down there and talk to them for 30 minutes and think you got their attention because
No.
we're running our mouth. They're
No.
not listening to that.
No. No.
You got to give it to them, and you got to give it to them quick. They'll catch it,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't do it the way we used to. We it's just a whole different communication.
Yeah.
It's madness, man.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm gonna play some to y'all. Y'all tell me y'all know what this is. Okay. Badger, good morning. How you doing this morning, sir?
Another blessed lady.
Good deal. Y'all listen to this right here and tell me what y'all think. What is this? Can y'all hear that?
Is that a tape player?
No. Yeah, take a shot at it, Donald. What's that?
That's a rotary phone.
Yes, it is. Yes, it. Donald, when he take a shot at it, Donald, what you doing, man? You ain't even say nothing. Toussaint, you there? We done lost Toussaint again. Yeah. But yeah, that's it, man. Look here, you got the prize, man. But most people don't even have any idea what that is. Most people don't have any idea. Donald, did you know what it
Yeah.
was?
No,
Donald,
they don't.
yeah, exactly. But Badger, we're talking about kids today, and we've lost them to a certain degree because of the fact that there's all this modern technology out there, man. They don't need to. They don't need to do anything. We talked a couple of days ago, maybe a week or so ago, about them going outside and playing outside and stuff like. They don't do that no more, man. So have we really lost this young generation? Have technology made them wiser but dumber?
A little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
I think it depends on the area.
Mm-hmm.
I think technology wise, they're smarter than us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Man, dude, that's a really deep one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's, I mean, the way I'm working with my kiddos, I'm actually teaching them what an index in a book is
Mm-hmm. Yes.
and things like that. But they also understand what Google is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they know that if it wasn't in a book, it wouldn't be on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
there are, we also teach them that not everything on the internet is true.
Yeah.
There's a so once again, I think that boils down to environment, what you teach them, um, and things like that. But
Mhm.
I was actually having a conversation because it does seem like kids are almost innately born with an ability to just instantly know how to hack a phone.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, so it's survival, I suppose, because I mean, way back when, when we were born and stuff, did we have a better understanding of how to survive and how to farm and things like that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's it's interesting to observe that. It's something
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually starting to research and study because I'm very curious about it.
Mm-hmm. And see, now let me ask you another question that we started off with this morning. Um, is it possible, and Badger, this is a personal answer. Nobody has the same answer. There's not a wrong answer to this to these questions actually. But is it possible to be rich and poor at the same time?
Absolutely, I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rich in love and family,
Mm-hmm.
but I I don't have much money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I guess that would depend on a person's definition of what rich is to them.
Yeah. And why is it so often that most people when you say that person is rich, the first thing that comes to another person's mind is money. Well, they got a lot of money. You say they rich, they got a lot of money. Maybe
Oh,
they don't.
that's
Maybe they don't. Go
that's the
ahead.
prime to me. That's the primary thing in America right now
Mm-hmm.
because you need it to be able to get a house. You need it for food. You like everything evolves around it. As far as um, sustainability,
Mm-hmm.
to even be able to farm, you got
Yeah.
to be able to pay for your land
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because it's taxed and everything else.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. Now we said that, and let me ask you this question: is it possible to love someone and to hate them at the same time?
Hmm. In my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
no.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you can dis. I think it's for me. It's more of disliking what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's nothing about my wife I hate. Nothing, or
Mm-hmm.
my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so there's actions I don't find that are that I don't agree with, but the
Mm-hmm.
same thing can be said toward about me.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
So and it's hate is such a strong word.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. Let me do
Um,
this. Yeah, yeah. I see you waving over it. Hold on for a second. We got another caller. Let me go to this caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning, good morning. Hello, Toy with the T on the line.
Toya with a T. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Hello, hello.
Toya, we got this is on way out Wednesday, and we got a lot of things going on this morning. And I'm asking several questions, and I'm gonna come to y'all. 'Cause I want to hear what's on everybody's heart this morning because it is way out Wednesday. But we're talking right now about technology. Have our children with all this modern technology and how smart and intelligent they are in this modern technology age. Are they wiser but yet dumber than we were?
Oh yeah, we all special. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
just gonna blame it on the babies.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I said the other day, if you look in the mirror and you see ugliness, you can't get mad at the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
So if our kids is dumb, it ain't cause of the technology.
Mm-hmm.
Because of us, we
Yeah.
got to be smart first, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that humanity now, it's making me terrible because I don't have to remember my numbers by heart anymore. You know what I'm saying? I can speed dial you. I don't have to do all that work anymore. So yes, it is crippling my ability to be my own computer in a sense. That's the part that we overlook. We're
Mm-hmm.
our own computer. We make these things.
Yeah.
We so trapped up in technology right now, and we can't even do half the things we're built to do as the human computers that we are, right? Which is much more advanced than these electronics are, whether we want to notice it or not. But it's definitely crippling some of our talents as human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Our memory, what we have to memorize, where we have to go with maps. Our direction, things of that nature. We used to have to do that by heart. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, absolutely. In a lot of ways, it is definitely crippling our abilities as human beings. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, Toya, let me ask you this question. Got two other questions. We got somebody else on the phone line. I'm gonna go to them in just 1 second. But Toya, is it possible to be rich and poor at the same time?
Well, you know what? I got a new way of thinking,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's no such thing as poor anymore. I mean, I get what society says poor, like by not having no money, but it's not about money. Like I said last night, you're valuable to me, brother.
Mm-hmm.
You.
Praise God.
It's not about money. It's not
Mm-hmm.
about anything else. You and people are valuable to me. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? Together, we make this thing run. So I don't believe that there's poor. That's a state of mind that we wind up, I don't know, leading ourselves there, but really not really.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to be poor when we have each other. We can always do something, especially with God being our most high. Like what is poor? Because what we don't have um, McDonald's, we gotta eat the food that we grow in our porch in the flower pot.
Mm-hmm.
What's poor that I can't buy polo, but I got to go to Walmart and buy regular white material and make my clothes,
Mm-hmm.
like because I don't have a car. Like what's poor?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's good. That's good. Now, one more question, and we're gonna go. I think we have Rico with us this morning. We're gonna go to Rico. Is it possible to love someone and to hate them at the same time?
Oh, I think that's a woman thing. I don't think that guys understand that concept. Maybe y'all do. But I think that's something that us girls do.
Mm-hmm.
Like we'll love y'all and can't stand y'all at the same time.
Wow.
I think men are simpler. It's like either I'm gonna love you or I'm gonna hate you.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. We come to you, you're gonna leave it there and just keep it moving versus we gonna pick it back up and it makes us have this love hate kind of thing. So I think that's just like a girl thing that the Lord needs to just work on us on. Because the stories I hear from some of you guys in the back of my Uber, I'll be like, oh Lord, I need to work on it, Lord. No, that's how we be. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, that's good. Rico, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Man, Grand Rising, man. How everybody doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Good to have you, brother. We asking a question, man. Modern technology. Young people are so much wiser, but are they dumber with this modern technology? Are we smarter than technology aside? Are we smarter than they were or are?
Both.
Mm-hmm.
First off, we got to understand we sold those seeds.
Mm-hmm.
So if we didn't get them the quality time that the elders before us gave us to teach us how to think critically
Mm-hmm.
or to just use comprehension skills, that's on us. But they are smarter. See, I think we get caught up because somebody invented a system of classification. So now people think they have to be one way and one way only.
Mm-hmm.
You can teach us how to think critically
Mm-hmm.
or to just use. You could be smart in English and dumb in science.
Yeah.
You could be a genius in math, but you could suck at social studies and history. So does that make you smart or dumb? Makes you both.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on what you're good at, what your passion is. You know, you might not be doing good in it because you don't have a passion for it, but you could do better if you actually tried.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's hard to really determine if somebody is smarter or dumber. It's just a matter of how they utilize the access that they have to the technology.
Mm-hmm.
You can look at the YouTube to learn how to fix a car, like Donald said, or you can look and see how to twerk.
Yeah.
It's a matter of your interest.
Mm-hmm.
But everything is available for you. It's up to the person. So it's hard to say whether we're smarter or dumber. But I can say that we are further ahead technologically.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are we smarter? Oh yeah, we came up with electricity a good 200 or 300 years ago. Electricity didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Now we came up with this electricity, but we also came up with a nuclear bomb. Kaboom!
Yeah.
We could tear some stuff up with it.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got the waste from that production of those bombs that we're leaving for somebody to deal with 10,000 years from now or whatever. We don't know what the repercussions are, but we ain't got to deal with it. Now, how smart is that to damage our own planet?
Exactly.
How smart is it to ignore global warming?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you know, yeah, we can go up and we could create our own rain clouds when we need rain. You know, we could fly. we could get to Mars. We could have cars that drive themselves. But we also do a lot of things that are self-destructive to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't want to let those things go because they're convenient, we're materialistic, and we like it. So that makes us dumb because we abuse our technology. We abuse this progress that we've had.
Mm-hmm. Now, let me ask you this question. Is it possible to be rich and poor at the same time, Rico?
Once again, yep. You can be rich and poor.
Mm-hmm.
You could be rich financially, but you could be poor in wisdom. So you just be a fool with money, ready to go broke. Remember Mike Tyson?
Mm-hmm.
But now you could be Don King, and you could be rich, and you could be poor with character, poor with honor. You rich, but then how many people you don't rip off and connive out that money?
Come on.
So, you know, when you lack honor and character, integrity, humanity, when you lack all of those qualities, but you rich, yeah, you still poor.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is the society accept them as poor or rich. No, society would glorify them because we love people that got that bread.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now, second part of the question. Can you love someone and hate them at the same time?
Once again, yes. I don't never put myself in one category and just say, you know, say, no, I can't. Now, the thing is, you can be bipolar. And with you being bipolar, you can have anger issues. And so you love the people that you're around as long as they don't make you mad or stress you out, pick and play too much. But just as soon as they play too much, they forget that you got an anger problem.
Mm-hmm.
Now you hate them. It ain't that you got anything going on with you mentally. It's just that you got an anger problem and you don't like to play for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in other situations where you can love somebody and hate somebody, most times that's because you got low self-esteem and you're trying to be accepted. So you love these people as long as they're being cool with you.
Mm-hmm.
But when you the butt of the joke or they treating you like the bottom of the totem pole, you hate them.
Mm-hmm.
I get tired of them cracking nigga jokes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
but wait a minute. I thought you was a fan when you went four-wheeler riding with him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's a good guy, man. I love him.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you was watching the cars, I thought you loved him.
Mm-hmm.
But now you hate him because every time you turn around, he's saying the N-word. I'm sick of him.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, do you love him or do you hate him?
Yeah. Which street you traveling down today? Donald Toussaint, you back with us?
Or what you getting out of it?
Yeah,
The reason why you keep hanging around. Do you love him, her, or do you love what they got? So you're hanging around being miserable and tormented because you got another agenda.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, it's we love folks sometimes for what we can get out of them, and we get enough of them when they are no longer giving.
Mm-hmm.
To the point we start hating them. We start hating that person, and then we hate people because they're not like us.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's definite. across the board. The world hates each other. This society hates each other because of lifestyles, color, creed, national origin, religion, your beliefs. I hate all of. Some people may say I hate all of them Christians, or them. I hate all of them Muslims. They ain't nothing but a bunch of They put people. We put people in a box of our minds, and we want them to fit this certain criteria. And if they don't fit this certain criteria, that causes friction in our lives. So we hate something we fear. It's a dangerous thing because of jealousy or envy or something. I don't know. I don't understand it. But I done got to the point where I just have to try to find a place with a person so that I can live, if it's possible, I can live peaceable with them because I don't like drama.
Exactly. Toy, you with a T, what's on your heart?
No, man, great conversations, man. That's like a 3-part question, but coming from a great place. But what I'm thinking about is how God allows everything. You know what I mean? I don't think that, I think when we go through these things, we forget that He allows it. You know what I'm saying? We forget that struggle that what was it Job went through. The devil had to ask God first to do that. You feel what I'm saying? So everything that goes on, God allows, and I think that we need to do either one. We learn to do one or two things. Do we learn to use His power to defeat it, and get delivered from it, or we use it and get swallowed up by it and become that too. You know what I'm saying? Which, if you become that, then it's probably not of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? It's just different. But I think that it's very important that regardless of what we go through, when we know the word of God, who He says we are, what we're capable of doing, we need to figure out, what position we're in and what's the next best move in any of these situations, period. You know what I mean? Stand firm and handle that situation with the power of God because, baby, it's real out here on the streets.
Absolutely. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
And Jenna, might be better for you to ask a question so I know exactly how to answer.
We're talking about several things that we're talking about, but right now let's stick with the love and hate at the same time. You can love somebody, but you can hate them at the same time. Are you hating them? Are you hating the actions that they do? And what is the path to overcoming that?
Usually, well, in my opinion and my experience, it's learning to overcome self introspection. Because if you're feeling an emotion that strong, there's got to be more to it than just a dislike. It's usually going to be tied to something that messes with you mentally. Because I used to misuse the word hate when somebody was doing something that just infuriated me. But as I got older, I realized and found out, that it's tied to the trauma and the experiences I've had in life of why I dislike the action or word usage so much. So it wasn't to me. It there's a lot of factors in play with that because it boils down to like if you're really in like loving that person, like your wife or your family or something, but you're angry at them, need to figure out why,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know. And if it truly isn't something within you, and it's because they're a drug dealer or they abuse their wife or kids or something like that, I can, I guess I could understand that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. Let me go, Rico. What's on your heart? We got a young lady that I think she's with us right now. We're gonna go to her in just a second. She has an amazing story, and I want to be able to share her story with our listeners. Rico, what's on your heart?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still on the same along the same lines I was at first.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for the most part, you would like to call things straight up the middle.
Yeah.
You have a eat and kill, and be sort of definitive on the direction that you're leaning in, whether you like a person or dislike a person.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna use this for an example. I love the idea of police rescuing people, solving problems, bringing order and control to chaotic situations, solving issues between people, domestic issues. I like the idea of police
Mm-hmm.
stopping bad guys, arresting them, keeping the community safe.
Mm-hmm.
But I hate the idea of being pulled over to the point where it traumatized me, and I had to ask myself, Rico, when did it get to a point where you really stop liking to drive?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that you got a vehicle and you just park it and let it sit there? And then I realized how many times, especially in the city that I'm in, I got pulled over. Worried about getting pulled over, and that anxiety that came to me. So that began to become a hate for them. At the same time, is when you see a need for them, you want to have them around.
Mm-hmm.
And all the time I see people running stop signs, just speeding, violating, risking running people over, moving past bus while they're letting children off the bus, just violating. I'm like, man, where the police at? I wish the police was here. They ought to pull their head over.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish the police was here. Knock their tail up.
Mm-hmm.
But just as soon as I see the police, I'm like, look at them. Look, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if I'm in the car
Mm-hmm.
and I ain't doing nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so used to just driving while black. Some people wouldn't understand that.
Yeah.
I'm
Exactly.
so used to just being pulled over and somebody asking if I'm an illegal alien. I need to see your ID to verify you're a citizen. Man, if you don't shut up,
Yeah. How many
get
police?
out of here. You're just trying to run. You're just trying to get lucky.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to run up on a warrant or something. You know what I'm saying? Get lucky. No, get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So I love the police, but at the same time, what the police have turned into, I really hate them. So I don't know if I'm for them or against them.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with government. I vote, but at the same time, and I promote politics. But at the same time, I speak against the crookedness in it.
Mm-hmm.
The deceit that's involved in politics. So you can love and hate some because maybe those things that you should love are being abused by people that have access to it.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. I think we have a young lady with us. We have another caller. I think this is her young lady. We're caller 423 area code. What's your name? Where you calling from? 42. Unmute your phone. 423 area code. What's your name and where you calling from?
Donna Green, Atlanta, Georgia.
Hey, Miss Green, how you doing this morning?
I am well. How are you?
I am doing well. We're going to get into our story because you have an amazing story that I think our listeners need to hear. And but before we get there, I want to ask you the question: technology, has it made us smarter or wiser, or our children smarter or dumber?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
They are smarter in some areas with technology. It's as to say certain things we can't even do with technology. We just turn to our kids and they can show us everything how to do.
Mm-hmm.
And they can show us, my 5-year-old granddaughter was showing me how to do something that I didn't even know how to do. So I think in that aspect it's smarter.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also think that they can be dumber because the technology now is a lure to a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
So, with our kids and everything and they getting on and they giving their information out and things like that, after you tell them and you show them all the statistics and things that have happened to other people and everything, and they're on there and where I'm coming from, the missing children aspect
Yeah.
and the sex trafficking aspect and all
Mhm.
those areas where our children the more we tell them not to do in that aspect, the more they do. And
Mhm.
yes, I do think in that aspect they are dumb in some things, as well as we have everything in our hand. That's for us too. You know, we don't have to remember phone numbers. We can, you know, even with work at school, you can just pick up the phone, just look it up, and put your
Mhm.
answer down. So
Ex-
it makes us dumber. We don't think as much as we used to think.
Exactly. Exactly.
Thinking is a lost art with us, I believe.
Now, Donna, let me ask you this question, and I'm glad you went there. If I say I'm gonna give you $100, a brand new crisp $100 bill, only thing you have to do is write down 10 phone numbers of friends or family members that you know without picking up your phone. Would you be able to do it?
No. I know I got 7 children, and I think I only know 2 of their numbers by heart.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is from I go to the phone for.
See, and that's what technology has done to us because there was a time we didn't have
That
the access to those things. We had to remember those numbers. We had to remember if we needed them.
exactly.
Yeah, there I think lies. Well, part of the issue is watch this. We're gonna come right back to you, sister. 'Cause we definitely want to get to your story. How much time do we have with you?
I got about an hour.
Okay, cool. Toya, what do you say to that? Now, if I got a Chris $100 bill and I say, look at here, write down me 10 phone numbers. I'm gonna call each one of these and make sure the numbers are right. And if all 10 of them are right of your family or friends, I give you the $100. Toya, would you be able to take that money?
Would I be able to take it? You said 10?
Yes. You gotta give me 10 phone numbers of family or friends, and without looking at your phone, just out of your memory, would you be able to write 10 numbers down for me to call?
I don't think I know 10 people numbers and names to give you that I flew in like that. I mean, like seriously. But I mean, I know the numbers that's most important. The mom, the dad, you know, the sister, the brother. It's the people who we're closest to, you know, but
Hmm.
nah, not like if you would have asked me that in 1990.
Absolutely.
Oh, everybody, I knew everybody's
Absolutely.
phone by number.
Absolutely. And there I say what lies what technology has done to us. Rico, would you be able to take that money?
Yeah, I'd be able to take it, but it would be a thought process I'd have to go through. It wouldn't just, I wouldn't be able to rattle off 10 of them as quick as I could in the 90s, like Toya said.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at one point in time, I could probably rattle off 100 telephone numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But now, man, let me delete something out my phone. I'm done.
It's a wrap.
I mean, I have friends now that I built strong relationships with that I haven't spoken to in 10 years because somebody stole a phone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're dead or alive now, and it torments me
Mm-hmm.
because I had a strong bond with these people, but the only connection we had was that telephone number. And fool I was, and not do like my grandmama and write everything down in a
Yep.
book. You know, we used to have our own little phone, little black books or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
with the stars next to them.
Yep, exactly.
You know, stars next to the name. But now that we've become so convenient. See, that's what we're dumb at. That convenience has made us so dumb to the point where we leave ourselves vulnerable.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
leave ourselves vulnerable to forget telephone numbers of importance. And not only that, but we leave our children vulnerable to people that have bad intentions
Mm-hmm.
on the internet, you know, giving out information, communicating. You know, we have issues now that's been going on for over 15 years now, where people have met others online, communicated a few times, and then that person was so infatuated and sick that they looked on their information, came and found them and killed them. I remember it was a woman.
Wow.
I think she was the first victim that happened to, and she was a beautiful woman. You like to pose in her bikinis, and you know how they do. We talk about the Instagram girls all the time,
Mm-hmm.
posing and getting all these likes and this and that. But they got the address up there. They got where they live up
Wow.
there. And just so happened, one of the people she was entertaining, that lived a few states over, was sick enough to come and ambush her and kill her.
Wow.
So I mean, you know, we are smarter, but at the same time, we are too comfortable with convenience, which makes us vulnerable to danger and a lot more susceptible. So that makes us dumb because you can't survive when you're vulnerable to prey.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Badger, what do you say? Would you be able to collect that money? That 10 phone numbers?
No.
Wow, wow, that's amazing, man. Because truth of the matter,
Y'all don't
I
know
would
the number to the police department?
911. That's all I know, brother. 911.
I don't. I'm not a very money driven person. As long as as long as we have enough to take care of my family, I don't. Anything extra is just extra.
Exactly. Donna Tucson, what do you say to that, man? Would you be able to collect that $100, man? Do you know 10 people's family member or friends phone numbers that you can write on a paper right now for me to call, and the numbers be right?
Can't get none of it. I know you didn't. I don't know if you heard me, but I can't get none of it. 318-948-3155. That's the only number I can call out, and it was my mom's number. Because older folks still have a home phone. There's some people that don't even have a home phone number.
Exactly.
I don't. The only thing that I would need a home phone number for is for the internet. The rest of it, I don't even be home to answer it. We mobile. And then some people have to change them stalkers and hackers.
Exactly.
Can keep you just about. You can't. How in the world did you figure that these your junk box in your with your email? How did all them folks get your email address?
Man, the internet did it for you. The internet done you. You go searching for something or whatever. Internet done you in, brother. That's exactly what it is. I'm gonna play this sound. I'm gonna play this sound effect that everybody knows. Everybody can know immediately what this is. Here we go. And then we're gonna go back to Donna, and Donna's gonna share her story with us. What is this, y'all? Hang that phone up before you get me disconnected. Come on. Almost. Oh, connected. Oh, I think we're connected.
Just dial up.
That's that. That's that old AOL. That's that old AOL, man. Y'all know about that. Look at here. Had to have that.
Makes the grooviest.
Had to have that right there, man. You know, you go through that whole motion, then all of a sudden, somebody toward the end, somebody pick up the phone and you get disconnected. God almighty. Y'all remember that?
Let me ask y'all something. I'm gonna ask y'all something. Am I the only one when that first came out that used to sort of get anxious every time I heard it? I was like, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I'm about to be on the internet. It's just like this little feeling on the inside of you, like you want to open up a Christmas present or something.
Exactly. And that's why, you know, I don't know if y'all can hear me when I was talking. Oh man, almost got it. That's why I was doing that, man, because you know you get anxious. Man, I'm almost there. Okay, don't pick up the phone because it's gonna disconnect us. Don't pick up the phone. Oh, almost there. Oh, I think I'm connected. Oh man, you want a prize. You're on the internet. Rico, what's really going on with us?
All that access, man. Now what am I gonna go look up? It's so many things. Like what can I look up and find? What kind of question can I ask? Just trying to find something to look up. Because the whole world is at your hands now.
Exactly. The whole world. Now, Miss Donna Green. Donna, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. How you doing this morning?
Hey, I am doing fantastic. Listen, I want you to share. You have a story that I want to be able to share with our listeners, and I'm gonna let you come exactly the way that you want to come with it. I ask you some questions, and everybody else may have some questions to ask you as well as you go into it. But take a couple of minutes right now and just tell us exactly what happened and how.
Well, I'm gonna give you a short version of it. When I was 16, I was pregnant at 16, and when I had my baby at Grady Hospital, after I had the baby, I got up and I walked to the to the nursery, because you know back then they had all the babies laid out in the nursery where you can
Yes.
just go see them.
Mm-hmm.
So I walked up and I went to see my son, and I had a baby boy, 7 pounds 11 ounces. And when I went up to see him, as I was standing there looking at him, a young lady walked up, and she walked up next to me, and she stood there. We glanced at each other and nodded, and I began to look back at my son. And she picked, she got a conversation with me. How you doing? Which one is yours? And I pointed to her, and she told me she was there with her sister. Her sister had just had a baby, and she pointed to a baby girl. And we talked for a few minutes, and then I got ready to walk back to my room. And she said, "Can I go back with you? My sister's sleeping. I don't want to disturb her." So I said, "Sure." We went back to the room. She stayed in there a little while and left. Uh, she came back that evening, stayed for a little while. We watched Lucy, and she left. The next day she came in, and the next morning she came in, and she asked me questions about the baby daddy, and everything. She looked to be right around my age, maybe a little older. I was 16, maybe she looked to be about 20. Had a big, beautiful smile, and very, very friendly lady. Um, so when I got ready to go home, she asked me could she get a ride home because her ride had left her. The people that was taking me home agreed. They dropped me off first, and then they took her home. A few days later, I had Raymond on the 6th of November. On the 1st of November, I had Raymond. On the 6th of November, at home one evening, it was cool out. We looking at TV. Somebody knocked on the door. Well, I had people over all day, my little friends and people come from school coming to see the baby. Well, I go to the door and it was her. I was shocked to see her. Um, I asked her what was she doing there. I kind of looked over her because I didn't see a car. She said, "Oh, I caught the bus over here." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I invited her in, and we sat there. She asked me, a couple of more friends came by to see the baby, and she stayed. She asked, could she hold the baby? I put the baby in her arms, and I just felt something. So I took the baby back out of her arms, and I laid him back on the sofa that we were sitting on. My brother was in there. My oldest brother's where he was looking at TV and nodding and looking at TV. So when it was time for me to go get freshen up, and I said, "Well, I need to go run up and take a shower," thinking that she was going to leave. She was like, "Oh, no, I'll stay here till you get back." I was like, "Okay, all right." And I told my brother, I said, "Tony, watch the baby. I'm going upstairs to take a shower." I think I was in the shower maybe 15 minutes or something, not even 15 minutes, maybe 10. Something kept urging me to get out. So hurriedly, I jumped out the shower, didn't dry, put on my clothes, and came downstairs hurrying. And her and the baby was gone. I never
Mm.
seen them since.
Wow.
And that was 43 years ago.
Mm. She stole your baby. Now, your brother. What did he say? 'Cause I know you asked him. What happened or what was his situation?
Yeah, he had dozed off. I woke him up and asked him where the baby. He said, "Your friend, the baby started crying, and your friend just picked him up and started walking with him to keep him from crying." And so he went back to sleep. And because the way we lived in Carver Homes,
Mm-hmm.
that's where we lived. And it's a little hall. When you leave the living room, it's a little hall area before you get to the door. So
Mm-hmm.
he couldn't have seen that. And then he was relaxed at the fact that he thought that she was my friend.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't concerned about really watching the baby while she was there.
Mm. Wow.
According to the police, they think that she just targeted me. She was at the hospital to steal a baby, and they were black marketing and selling babies overseas back then, and that may have been what happened.
Mm.
That's one of the theories they gave me.
And that was over 40 years
But
ago.
it's like she disappeared out of thin air immediately.
Mm. Now, did you have
Never seen her.
did you have a name for her, or I mean, how did you all communicate with each
She
other?
said her name was Lisa. She said her name was Lisa.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. And that's
How old was she? I mean, what color was she? What was her race?
She was black.
Mm-hmm. And you thought she was just maybe a few years older than you. And
Yeah, I actually thought that I was naive at 16. I actually thought that I was just meeting another. She wanted to be my friend,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
I
And
can
then
I
I'm
can I
thinking,
can
if
see
you
that.
caught the bus all the way over there in the cold, you must really want to be my friend and say, I'm coming to just see how y'all doing.
Hmm.
I'm not even thinking, because I hadn't heard of anybody being missing or anything like that, or somebody stealing somebody's child or anything like that. The Wayne Williams stuff hadn't even happened at that time, but
Hmm.
this was in '78.
Hmm.
So I hadn't heard of anything like that. So I had nothing to compare, nothing to be cautious. You understand what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
Our parents, I wasn't taught to be cautious like that. I just thought that she was a young lady that, just really wanted to be my friend. I was just naive.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know I was being targeted because she wanted my baby.
Now, what was the procedure like in trying to get your baby back? How did that all play out?
Well, back then, it wasn't like now where police everywhere, helicopters flying over, everything. Back when my son got missing, two white police officers, detectives, came up to my door, took my information. Uh, that was it.
Mm.
That was it. Like, few days later, it was something in the paper, in the back of the paper, infant stolen, and that was it. So it wasn't a lot of going on back then. And,
Hmm.
and, and even over the years, I would always call down and talk to them, and ask them. They would just immediately dismiss me. If we hear anything, we'll let you know. But then 2 years later, the Alexandra child got missing from the hospital.
Hmm.
And so they reached out to me then, because she had a 2-year-old. The, they found the baby, but the lady that stole the baby had a 2-year-old as well, and they thought that may have been Raymond. And well, then the media came out, everywhere
Hmm.
for that, thinking that was him. But after we did the footprints, it wasn't him.
Wow.
So from that point on, I didn't hear anything from them up until I started calling them. And then when I started calling them, this was like, over the years, they just would always say, "Hey, look, if we hear anything, we'll let you know."
Hmm.
So one day I decided to go down to this, years and years later. I decided to go down there just to get, because I found out that he wasn't even with National Missing Children. And so I went down there just to get his file to see what was done about him, because now I'm beginning to feel like we were both victims, even from
Yes.
the police
Hmm.
department, because
Exactly.
they really didn't do much.
Hmm.
So I go down there to see what can I get his file, or just take a look at his file and get a copy of his file. And they didn't even have the file on it.
Wow.
They didn't have a file at all. And they didn't want to. They didn't do anything.
Hmm.
So I called National Missing Children, and National Missing Children said that they couldn't do anything for me until I get a number from the police department. And they pulled out a file from 1948 right there, but they had nothing on Raymond. So finally, after the third or the fourth time, I'm going down there, and they're looking at me at this crazy lady coming down here talking about a baby missing years ago. uh, One of the detectives said, my sergeant told me, let's just let you go on and fill out another, take a what's the word I'm looking for? They're gonna take another copy of what happened,
Hmm.
so I can get the number to give to National Missing Children. And that was it. That was all that they can do. So had I not did that, and then I had to go to the library to get that article pulled up, to go take it back down there to prove to them that this had happened.
Hmm. Wow. Wow.
So yeah.
Mm. Now you say that they found a young lady that had a baby and had a little boy they thought was Raymond. What happened with the lady that they caught? Was that Lisa?
No, that wasn't Lisa. This young lady, she stole the baby. They found her. They found the baby and everything, and they prosecuted her, but it wasn't Lisa.
Okay. Okay. Good deal. Toya, anything? Any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. I'm just listening.
Okay. Good deal. Toussaint. Tucson, you with us? Think you might be away for a second. Badger, you have any questions?
No.
Okay. Oh, y'all know I can keep this thing going, man. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? I know you got a question.
Yeah, I want to know the records at the hospital. I know they take babies' fingerprints and footprints. Did they do it back then? And have you done the put your DNA in the database to see if he's turned up anywhere? You know, I mean, not wishing any bad luck, but you know, sometimes people end up in prison or whatever, and they have the DNA, and you know, whatever way you find them, I'm pretty sure you will accept it. But have you ever thought about, or have you done the DNA and put it in the database?
Yeah, we've done the DNA, we've done 23andMe, we've done Ancestry.com, Ancestry.com. I went to the hospital now. I went to the hospital to get his records from down there. They said they couldn't give me the records because he would have to sign for his own records. And even when I explained to him that
even under those circumstances,
missing,
even under those circumstances, even under those circumstances.
Yeah, but they wouldn't do it, but they gave me my records saying that I did have a son, but they wouldn't give me his records and anything. And you know, what I do now is in the community, I help out other families. I work with National Missing Children. I help out other families that child is missing. We do spotlights around the city. If your child went missing or your loved one is missing, the last place that if the last place the car was or the phone pinged or whatever, we go out and we saturate that area with flyers, bring people out. People come from all over. We go, we went up to Augusta, and the twins that there, the Jeanette Millbrooks went missing up there. We went up there. People came from all over up there for us to do what we do. So I do a lot of work with National Missing Children. I have my own organization, Raymond Green International. It became Raymond Green International because I over a period of time, I've had people come saying they think they're my son. They think they're my son, different things like that. And, sometimes you get tired of that. And then there was one time when someone came and said they thought they was my son. Someone from Australia reached out to me and said that they thought they found my son in Germany. Well, the young man reached out to me from Germany, and he had a story, a remarkable story. He was left over in Germany as a child at 11. He don't know his mom. He don't know his dad. He can't work or, do anything because he's listed as unknown. Unidentified is what they list him as. He can stay in Germany, but he can't go to another country. No other country will take him because he don't nobody know who he is. So he was thinking that he was my son. And so we got a bond together and everything. And while we was waiting on the DNA to come back, I think we talked for about 6 months while we was waiting on the DNA to come back. And then found out that he wasn't my son either. So over the years, I've had somebody from other countries to reach out to me saying they think they was my son, and even someone in the city thinking they my son. So, I get a lot of that as well with the work I do.
Let me ask you the question, Donna, and we have another caller. We're going to go to that call in just a second. But how heartbreaking, or how many times is it like pulling the scalp off a wound when somebody come and say they're your son, and later to discover after the DNA or whatever you have to go through to discover that they're not? How heartbreaking is that again?
Well, for a while, I just stopped listening to people, and I would just tell them to go on, go to National Missing Children, call them and do the DNA. And so I wouldn't be affected because I had been affected before. But this particular time, I thought that was my son. And the more I talked to him, it seemed like he had a whole lot of things in common with my kids. I let my kids talk to him, family talk to him. We all excited because, everything just seemed to have made sense. And I felt like God would not bring him in my life like that. Because I know God knew that I didn't have any way else to put any more hurt or any more pain, no more disappointments. And so my faith was so strong, I was almost 100% sure that he was my son. So
Mm-hmm.
when I found out that he wasn't my son, it was definitely devastating. It was very hurtful, very devastating. I wasn't mad at God or anything like that because I know His perfect will is going to be done anyway. But I didn't want, I felt like I just didn't want to go through that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't put myself through that anymore.
Yeah.
But it's very,
Yeah.
very hurting. You got that child out there. I got a son out there somewhere. He could be next door. He could be millions of miles away.
Mm-hmm.
Where is he? I don't know.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, let's go back to when you was a little girl, 16, 17 years old, and to
Hmm.
and to have your baby to come up missing. If you could describe that feeling, because I have four daughters and I couldn't imagine not having one of them. How would how would
Yeah.
how would you describe that feeling that you went through at that moment, even at that young age?
It was very scary.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very scary. It was almost unbelievable, but at the same time, I'm just sitting there waiting on the police to bring him home because on TV,
Mm-hmm.
when it happens, the police solve this problem in an hour when they bring him home.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I never thought that 40 some years later I'd be still looking for my son.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, the way it happened, I got a lot of feedback from the community. Some people say I gave him away. Some people say they didn't believe somebody just walked in my house and took that baby out. So at 16, I had to deal with a lot of scrutiny
Mm-hmm.
because somebody walked in my house and took the baby out, took my baby out, and I opened the door and let her in. So over the years, I had to deal with that and the guilt, and being 16 and walking down the street in the projects. Projects can be cruel sometimes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
People pointing at you saying, there go that girl that gave her baby away. If I was somewhere and I was laughing, they said, look at her, she don't care. If I was somewhere and I wasn't laughing, they would say she looked like she about to lose her mind. Or I
Mm-hmm.
heard you gave your baby away, this, that, and the other. So I went through a lot of things when Raymond got missing. A whole lot of things because at the end of the day, I did open up the door and let her in. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know, that she was gonna take my baby. I couldn't even. I still sometimes think about that and just can't even conceive how that could happen. How I could be so naive like that. But
Mm-hmm.
it happened. So I had to deal with a whole lot. Not just my son getting missing, which was a lot within itself.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a lot of support at home or with my friends, and I had some close friends, and I remember walking up on them one day. They didn't know I was there. They was in the room, and I had went upstairs to their room, and they were sitting there talking about, I don't believe that. I think something happened. She did something to that baby or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. So I had to deal with a lot of stuff. At 16, not just with my baby being missing, but a whole lot of other stuff behind that, living in the projects as well. So it was definitely an experience for me.
Okay. Um, I like to be very careful and mindful of the questions that I ask sometimes, and this is one of those moments where I'm treading very lightly. So I'm asking you the question: Can I?
No, feel free. I've been asked everything.
Okay.
I've
Okay.
been asked any and everything. So just feel free to ask.
Okay. The Raymond's dad. What role did he play in this? In trying to find him
Um,
and the different things like that. What role did he play?
Uh, well, we were still together when Raymond got missing. Actually, we got 7 children together. He's deceased now.
Okay.
We end up getting married years later.
Mm-hmm.
So he played his role, as much as he could. He wasn't a lot of support. He was angry at me because he felt like I was too trusting.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why our son got missing. So yeah, that's the role he played with that. But we tried to find him and everything.
Mm-hmm.
We did what we could.
And see, and that's the thing right there. I know someone's tugging me in that direction, because we're not talking about a shirt, or you lost an apple or something like that. We're talking about a child, and so that can, if not handled properly, even at that young, certainly at that young age where y'all were, it could put a wedge between y'all. So it makes me feel good that y'all
It did.
stood that y'all stuck together, and y'all whatever y'all had to go through, y'all went through it together. So That's the part. Let me
Well,
ask you.
we went through it together. Up until he died,
Mm-hmm.
he always felt like I was too trusting,
Mm-hmm.
and that the reason why the baby was missing was because I was too trusting. I
Mm-hmm.
was 16,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I had a lot of stuff to deal with that. But
Mm-hmm.
God knows, and
Absolutely. Absolutely.
and so it allowed me to make sure that other people don't feel like I felt, because I felt
Mm-hmm.
like didn't nobody care
Mm-hmm.
about Raymond and didn't nobody care about me. And when I look back over it and I realized how much of a victim we was, even with the police department, because even now, with all that I do in the community and stuff, and the people that I help and the events that I have. I just had a Mr. Children event over in the park. Then we fed the homeless, we fed children and everything 2 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
Saturday before last. So I do a lot in the community and everything because of that. And I talk to parents that's crying and that they they wish because their child is missing. And I be there because I don't want nobody to feel like I felt.
Yeah.
My
Exactly.
son's still missing. I feel like no one cared.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. We have another caller. We'll go to that call and then we'll open up the phone lines to open up the phone lines, as well as I know somebody else may have a question as well. But caller, what's your name? Caller from the what we got here? 404 area code. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning. This is Bishop.
Good morning, Bishop. How you doing this morning, sir?
Man, I'm blessed, brother. I'm blessed by the best,
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. We're talking to Miss Green this morning, Donna Green, and she's actually telling us her story, man. And it's deep, brother. What's on your heart?
Well, I know Miss Green. In fact, I know her very personally. I knew her family, knew her husband very well, and I know her journey.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to call in, man, just to, like I've always done for her, just offer my support for what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And her tragic story is real.
Yes. Yes.
And I supported her in just about everything that she tries to do if I'm available. She's a great person, and it's unfortunate that she had to experience something like that at such a young age.
Mm-hmm.
But the negative part about it, she was young and did what she did, went through what she went through, but she got strong through it,
Mm-hmm.
and I take my hat off to her. But during the
Absolutely.
time, and you may not be old enough to remember this, Raheem, but back in the 80s, we had the missing and murdered children.
Mm-hmm.
And now you don't hear anything about it from that perspective. But what Donna did, she kept it going to help these parents find their children who are missing. And she has a nonprofit, and through her nonprofit, she needs support.
Mm-hmm.
She is so humble. Now, I'm gonna say it. Donna is very humble, and she don't really ask anybody for financial help for what she is doing. But to have that picnic that she had in the park, I was there with her. That money got to come from somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's trying to bring awareness. So I think she ought to tell somebody how they can donate
Mm-hmm.
to her cause and what she is doing. She can tell the story 101 times over, but she has to travel around the different states, and she pulled money out of her own pocket. And that's a faithful and a humble servant of God.
Mm-hmm.
And what she's doing is a ministry to try to help restore hope in families that children are missing. So if Donna have a site or a cash app or page that you can donate, I would think and I would hope she would be willing to share that so people can sow into what she's doing. Because this is one of the greatest ministries that God has placed on her heart, as opposed to stand behind a book board or pulpit and preaching and teaching and expecting money to come in. She's out there into the wilderness trying
Mm-hmm.
to destroy lions and tigers and bears and save the sheep. So I just
Mm-hmm.
wanted to say that I hope, I hope I'm not overstepping myself, but Donna needs financial help doing what
Mm-hmm.
she is doing, my friend.
Now, do you have a cash app or any way that people can support you?
Yeah, I have a cash app. It's $ DONNAGREE1.
Okay, hold on. Let me write that down. $ Donna, and what's the rest of it?
GREE1.
And the number one, got you. Okay. I'm gonna put that on the screen here so people can actually see this. We have a couple other callers that has called in. We have one from the 816 area code. 816. What's your name? Where you calling from?
K with the E.
Hey, Kay, what's going on, man? We have you been listening?
I have.
Okay, so you know down the story. I don't have to brief you on that. So what's on your heart right now?
I kind of like do the same thing. I just kind of pray on it, and like he said, that money got to come from somewhere. But y'all know what? I'm gonna honestly tell y'all, I pray on it ever since I took full responsibility of my cookout that I've been doing. This is the 8th annual year, and for some reason, I'm telling y'all, God comes through every time. Literally every time. I have people to tell me, "Oh, I'll bring this, I'll bring that," and then at the day they think they leaving me without it, but I always manage to have it. So I just pray on it and I just do it. I do it from the heart and it always happens for me. I just thank God and I thank him for the people that he put it on their heart to donate and
Exactly.
help me. This is my
Exactly.
8th year. So y'all get on the road and come on up here July the 10th.
Good deal. Good. That's this weekend. Oh, no, the next one.
It's
You
July.
say July. Okay, I'm
July.
gonna say August. Good Lord,
Yes,
girl.
I got a whole month.
Oh, okay. All right. Then we got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? I think it's Kurt. Kurt, you there?
Yeah, Raheem, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on with you, Captain? How you doing?
No, man, chilling. On my way in to make the donuts.
Okay. Now,
Hold on for a minute, bro.
did you hear?
Yeah,
Did you hear Donald's story?
I heard a part of no, because I heard the tail end.
Okay. Well, her son, when she was 16 years old, her son was she had a friend, a young lady that befriended her at the hospital, and came to her house and stole her son. And now we're talking about the journey of her. And this was had to be how many years ago was it? It was back in 19 what year was it, Donald?
It was 43 years ago.
40 some years
I
ago.
didn't hear that.
Yeah, over 40 some years ago. Absolutely. So Curtis, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, folk been stealing kids for years, man. When you really think about it, man, it goes back. God told you what people would do, given a situation and or circumstance. Such things as jealousy, envy, malice, hate. What they'll do in those moments, man. God told us, man. One of the most powerful stories I ever read in my life was the story of King Solomon once he became king.
Mm-hmm.
And the story says that two of his handmaidens or whatever, each of them had a child.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Kurt.
And
let's just for today, brother. Let's stay focused on Donna for a second, man. Because we're really trying to help her through what she's going through. If we can, let's stay focused right there for a second.
Well, somebody took a child,
mm-hmm.
and in the story, one of the mamas rolled over and fell asleep on her son and killed him. So she snuck into the room and took the other woman's child, and then replaced it with the dead son. So, man, people are doing so much, and I mean, in her situation, bro, I can only imagine, like, she feel like she ain't got justice. She don't know I don't know the full story right here in the comment on it, but like, that's a hard pill to swallow, man. I got two kids of my own.
And this happened to her. This happened to her at the age of 16, Kurt. At the age of 16, man. That's a lot for a 16-year-old to deal with.
Yeah, and who knows? I mean, it just hit the limelight recently here today, but I mean, we so caught up on looking at, for example, the sex trafficking thing, right? With our kids, with our teens, we got that problem going on here in Baltimore right now. Children are being abducted, and it's not even being reported, bro. It's not even being put out on the news. But they got us looking at the sex traffickers, that they don't even have us looking at the organ traffickers. You know, then there's talk that there's these highfalutin lists of the extremely wealthy who, in all reality, should be dead. But they're not dead because they paying big money to get these organs, and they paying so much money that, you know, there's folk out here that's willing to kill to get that bag. So I don't really know what happened with her seed at 16. Well, who knows, man? This thing could have been going on way back then, and we just didn't know about it.
Good deal. Good deal.
You know, or somebody wasn't telling us about it. You know what I mean? Like they was covering that up. You know, like. But that's a sad situation, sister. I pray for you, man. I'm praying with you. You know.
Good deal.
I think about it all the time, man. To lose one of my kids, man. I'm telling you, in any situation, Raheem, I applaud the sister for not like really going like ham. Because I'm telling you, with everything we got going on, that's something happened to one of my sons, man. I'm telling y'all gonna have to put money on my books.
There you go. Hold on, Kurt. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
I looked up the story after she was mentioned to us last week, man, and that's a terrifying story to even imagine going through. So my heart goes out to her because when you put yourself in those shoes, you can't even begin to imagine what she felt. I'm pretty sure she felt some guilt. She felt a lot of confusion being 16 years old. I mean, when I first heard the story, I wasn't thinking about a baby dad or nothing. The only thing I thought about was a 16-year-old girl that needed parents and a community around her. She was fending for herself. So I heard a naive girl that was accepting of somebody that pretty much took advantage of her because she knew she was poor.
Yes.
I heard somebody that might be going through a guilty conscience because every night they thinking, well, maybe I could have waited till she left till I took a shower. Maybe I could have. Maybe I should have cared more about my baby to say, you know what, man, I just wait till all of y'all gone before I do this and that. I mean, just say.
But Rico, even with that, if this young lady was so driven to get that baby, she maybe not have gotten it that day, but she probably wasn't gonna stop until she did.
And even if she wasn't gonna stop, what I'm saying is that the woman that is Donna. I caring about what the woman would have did later on. I'm just saying that what Donna is going through every night. I ain't gonna every night, but what she goes through here now, she still had to deal with that. I wonder if it's something I could have did different. I wonder if I would have waited just one more hour. Maybe if I would have been so friendly. I knew she was being too nice. I'm in Atlanta. Ain't nobody that nice. I found out when I went to New York. When you speak to people, when people speak to you and they act nice like that, something ain't right with them. I used to wonder why everybody was standoffish and unkind. They just mind their business and they didn't want to be friends with nobody, no new friends. Then I started seeing why when I started speaking to people. I'm like, man, something wrong with that joke. But when you see a country boy like me walking around looking up in the sky, I was very vulnerable in New York. She was very vulnerable at 16. The community let her down. The police let her down. And then on top of it, another issue you see that has to be discussed is the fact that if that had been a white child in a certain neighborhood, court made it probably would have been an all points bulletin put out. So I sympathize with her because I can only imagine people telling you, walking up on people that are supposed to be your friend, and you hear them talking behind your back. The bigger person, she could have snapped on them. I mean, your true people that you thought were your friends. This is a 16-year-old. This is not a woman. We're not talking about a 25 or a 35-year-old. We're talking about a 16-year-old married age mother.
Exactly.
I'm talking was a lot different. But on this broadcast, a lot of times we hear some people that's quick to say, if you're still going through something you went through back then, you ought to just get over it.
No.
I think this sister right here can verify. You don't get over it. You try to work through it.
Yeah.
But you never get over this because this is a problem that hasn't been solved.
It's a part of her that's missing. It's a part of her that's absolutely missing.
A trauma that nobody can even verify or has ever experienced. Well, others have, but it's not a normal experience.
Yeah, exactly. hold on for a second, preacher. Oh, he didn't hear me when I said that. Donna, what's on your heart?
Well, when I think when God do things, I know when God do things, it's all for a reason. That experience, I still live it every day. But he allowed me to take that experience and help others with what I've been through. And that's what we have to do sometimes when we go through things, just learn how to turn that pain into passion to help others. Because every time I help somebody, every time I go on my show and I have parents on there telling their story, every time I'm out there in the community doing what I do for others, then I know I'm helping my son as well. And I'm helping myself with healing. So though that happened, and I still do deal with the trauma and the pain from that. I'm not going to say I don't, because I do. But God just has shown me how to take that trauma and take that pain and turn it into something positive to help others. And I'm thankful for that.
Absolutely. We have another call. I think it's Cassandra. Cassandra, you with us?
Good morning, yes.
Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
I'm well.
Talking to Miss Donna Green, and I know you know Miss Donna Green very, very personally. And is there anything you want to say to her this morning? She's actually sharing her story, and painful. What's on your heart, Cassandra?
Yeah. When I met Donna, I just wanted to just bust out crying, because when you think about, I can't even imagine what it would be like to have your child stolen and then spending your life trying to find that child. And literally, she has, committed her life to trying to find her son, who is out there, prayerfully living a good life, but not knowing that she's here, that he has brothers and, siblings. And I can't imagine. But there are so many children that are being going missing, and are being exploited in this country that we don't even pay attention to. And especially in our community, kids are disappearing, and they look for them a little bit, especially like our teen kids. The younger ones are disappearing, but you have like teenagers that they don't, like, oh, she's a runaway. You don't know. And Donna has a friend. I don't know whether she mentioned it, but there is a guy. I think he was from Boston, Donna, whose teenage daughter disappeared, and they tried to tell him that, well, she's just a runaway, whatever, and then they ended up finding the child dead, I believe.
That's right.
Is that
Russell Burns?
Famous.
Burns.
Yes.
That's true.
And so those types of things happen. No, they don't pay attention to it.
Wow.
They don't. And in our community, we have to pay attention to that. We have to pay attention, because a lot of children that go missing, they end up missing. Some of them are runaways, but some of them are missing. And this trafficking out here, and this grooming these kids, taking these kids. I heard a case where the young girl and that's why I say we can't be down when it comes to our social media, because the young girl thought she was talking to her friend, and he groomed her for a long time, to the point where she was telling him when mama was there, when mama wasn't there. Mama then went to a baseball game to see if she was going to be at home, and he flew in, busted the door down, and took that little girl.
Wow.
It's so many different stories out here, and with our children, and then you got them in the missing from foster care. That's another aspect of missing and trafficking. It's so many different ways out here. We gotta become aware. We gotta become aware of what's going on in our community. But see, our community a lot of times is all about I, me, and mine. Like as long as mine is safe. As long as I keep an eye on mine, as long as mine is safe, I ain't worried about it. But if that's what you're thinking, it's all about I, me, and mine. And if you think because I had somebody tell me, well, my kids is with me pretty much all the time. If you think that's what's gonna keep your kids safe, because they're not gonna be with you 24 hours. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be with you 24 hours. And even if they are, let's be real clear. Even if they are, things happen. I had a case where the guy just pulled up at the bank. The store was right next to the bank directly. He gave his daughter $1 to go in there and get her a drink. He went in the bank, came out, never seen her again. Things happen, So, we got to be more aware of what's going on in our community, and then not just look at just us, because it's not just about I, me, and mine. When you're in the grocery store, look around. Have that mentality that not on my watch. As long as I'm in the grocery store, if I'm on this aisle, not one child gonna go missing on this aisle. If I'm right here, I'm just watching, because those parents, that mama that's pushing them children and got one children in her hand and got one children in the buggy. She's real vulnerable while she's trying to put their groceries in and trying to see about that child and put that. She's real vulnerable. But if we got our men out there and they're looking around when they're in these places to make sure, because they're everywhere. Those monsters, those pedophiles and all that, they are everywhere. All they want is an opportunity. And even in the broad daylight, did you see the one where the lady was in the store and the man was actually in the store trying to take her baby? It was all on the internet and on the news. He pulling and she pulling. He pulling and she pulling. So that just goes to show how these monsters think. They don't think about it. So don't be about I, me, and mine when you out there. Watch out, not just for you and yours, but watch out for that lady that got them children and she trying to put her groceries in the car, or that child that wandered off the aisle while mama trying to get some in the grocery store, in the shopping mall or something like that. Love her enough to risk her anger to say, hey ma'am, you need to keep a close eye on your child. Do that. We got to come up within our community. We got to watch better. We got to do better.
Absolutely. Bishop, what's on your heart?
Man, listening to Donna, she brought the reality of what people won't pay attention to. And it's so crazy because I was in the grocery store the other day, and the lady let her little bit, I think, child about 6 or 7 years old, run around the store by themselves. And I just stood there and looked. So because, my experience in law enforcement, I wanted to make sure the child got back to the parent. So, I casually, walked behind to make sure nobody grabbed that child and take him out of that store. Because I'm like, man, what Donna just said was a mouthful. You turn around, and when you least expect it, your child is gone because you're paying attention, but you're not paying attention. It only takes that second. So, I really have to take my hat off to anything that Donna Green is doing, what she's trying to do. She's trying to bring awareness. Thank you for allowing her to come on this platform to talk about, her issues or the situation that a lot of families are facing. This is why it's so important that, we have this type of platform. And you on DKM Media Group, DKM Media, you don't leave no stones unturned. You talk about all of these issues, and you got a panel of men and women that call in with their views and opinions that can also bring enlightenment or educate, as we move forward. And I'm so pleased that, I may not call in every day or from the beginning at 7 to 10, but I listen and I get a chance to call in when I can, man, because I love what you bring to the table, Raheem. I take my hat off to you, brother, because you are a person that's trying your best to open the eyes of those that are out there in the world, not just in the United States, but in 58 different countries. You're doing a wonderful job.
Hey, to God be the glory.
Donna, I take my hat off to Donna, man.
Yes.
She is relentless on trying to find her son, but she's also relentless in trying to help others reconnect with their lost ones, the children that have been lost, or whatever the person is. And I don't think it's an age discrimination. She don't care whether or not you're 8 or 80. If you're lost, you're missing, she's going to try to help somebody if you find them by doing what she does. Again, I really hope that people can go to her platform and donate. So it's more than a cookout that what Donna's doing.
Yes.
Donna is trying to restore lives and families. And I believe it's Cash App Donna Green, GREE1. And I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to it and donate today myself.
Yes, sir.
I ain't letting nobody else to do something I'm not willing to do. So I'm going to send my donation to it because I want her to be successful in what she's doing.
Absolutely. And I'm going to send down. I'm going to send you something as well. So look for it. It's coming pretty much right after the broadcast is over. I'm going to send something to you. And so hopefully everybody else will do the same thing. Or even if they can't financially, they'll say a prayer. and lend a prayer to you, because
That would
sometimes
be a blessing.
sometimes people just don't have the finances at the moment because everybody got their own situations going on. But they can say a
That's
prayer.
true.
They can definitely say a prayer. Toya, with a T, what's on your heart?
Oh man, I'm just processing everything. So much going through my head. First and foremost, Donna, my absolute condolences. If I was there, I just want to give you a big old hug and say sorry for
Mm-hmm.
the multiple ways that humanity has failed you at that time, man. There was so much going on in 1970s. I can see why the officers, I mean, not the 70s, but this from the 50s. I'm sitting up here looking up stories on some experiments they've done to make us docile at that time. And I just can't imagine, just our history. We've always come up missing, and it's never been taken seriously. You know what I mean? So it's like it never stopped. So I mean, I can't just send so much love to you just to say, sorry that happened, man. But the God that we serve, and I'm in agreement on this, that He's so powerful that He is going to reveal whatever's going on with your son, whether you're doing these things and you're going to meet paths or just got to get your story and y'all reconnect. But I am just totally in agreement that some kind of way, man, that God restores this relationship. You know what I'm saying? Even, for me, I don't have a child because I aborted, but I'm not comparing that to your loss.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have a loss. But I know that the Lord touched my heart to let me know that, Toya, it's okay. Your child is here with me, and it gave me comfort. You know what I mean? So I just hope that, God, if He hasn't already given you comfort, that whatever this fire burning, maybe there's something that's like, no, He's still alive. I'm in agreement that God does everything that He does, all the miracles and how powerful that He is, that He's going to restore this relationship. He's going to, give you calmness and clarity and wisdom about the situation on where He is and rectify it. And everybody going to know that was the Lord, man. So I'm just so sorry, man. Many prayers of energy and blessings and peace go out to you, sister. If there's anything, that I can ever do to help you on your fight, please let me know, man. But definitely keep your head up, stay strong. And yeah, we need to raise awareness and make sure that we are, educated on understanding the grooming process. And yes, this goes back to something Rico said earlier with social media. We know that these are tactics that people use to take our kids. Why do we keep doing it? Why do we, advertise our kids to people when we have situations just like this? She went home, someone befriended her at 16, and I feel like nothing's wrong with that. You should be able to trust other people, and they took your child, and I'm so sorry that happened, man. So just anything that I could ever do, sis, please let me know, and as soon as I get some dollars, I will be donating too, man. But just thank you so much, man, for just your strength and your ability to be able to talk about it and stay strong, keep moving forward and helping others. Sister, thank you so much, and we love you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Badger, anything on your heart right now?
That's a rough road to walk. Experiencing what I had when I was younger. Never goes away. It's always there.
Yes, sir.
And I think a lot of people that haven't experienced anything similar or even close to that, there's no worse feeling in the world.
Absolutely. Donna, anything on your heart right now that you want to share with us?
Yeah, I what I want to say is, I don't want, a lot of times I hear parents say, well, what can we do? What can we do? A lot of times, you can go online. You don't have to be ignorant to okay, for instance, this young girl just went, I know everybody saw a couple of weeks ago when the little girl was out there waiting on the school bus and the man jumped out the van and tried to snatch her. Did y'all see that?
Yes, I did.
And this little girl for her life, fought for her life,
Mm-hmm.
and she's alive today because of that. I'm hoping that when people saw that, everybody went to picking up the phone, talking to their children and grandchildren and nieces and nephews, letting them know, you know, if something like that happens, you fight for your life. Don't
Mm-hmm.
stop fighting.
Yeah.
You gotta let them know. A lot of times people say we don't want to have that conversation. We don't want to scare them children. You better scare them children. You
Mm-hmm.
better scare and let them know. And a lot of times you can go on places like National Missing Children, go on their website. They can teach you how to talk to your children. And they got
Mm-hmm.
so much information that you can get enough information on there. Not only can you talk to your children and do everything you can to keep them safe, but you can help somebody else give them some information and help them keep theirs safe either. So don't just not think that there's nothing to do or you don't know what to do. With this World Wide Web, it can be real dangerous on this web, but web can help you out a whole lot and give you a
Mm-hmm.
whole lot of information. And we got to do everything we can to keep our children safe. And that's one of the areas that you can go in. That's one of the platforms that you can use to get information because they got NetSmart, they got all that on there, all kind of stuff on there for children. So I would
Mm-hmm.
tell people, get online, learn what you can learn so you can share with others. And then you can not only share it with your children and your family members to help keep them safe, but you might be able to help keep somebody else safe too.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. Kay, what's on your heart? Rico, coming to you next.
First, I want to apologize because I didn't hear the beginning of that. I only heard the part of the what she do for the community and all of that. So I want to apologize because I have a friend that she still hasn't found her daughter, and I became friends with this Samoan lady just buying household items and stuff from her. And her daughter came up missing, and I was like, no, the pretty little girl, she used to always be there. Miss K, Miss K. I used to take little stuff to her because I knew she was always with her mom and them. And so they still haven't found her right now today. And I just, every time I see her, she's still doing what she's doing, everything. And I just go and check on her and speak to her. And we done did all kind of stuff. So I'm sure she said she knows somebody in the family took her daughter because they
Mm-hmm.
couldn't have kids. And they took her back to where they originally come from. So it's really hard because she really just, there's nothing she can do. And she know where her daughter is and she can't
Mm.
go get her. So my heart really go out to her. Like my heart just dropped when I heard the rest of the conversation. But I will definitely keep all that lifted up in prayer right along with my friend. And I will definitely donate. So just
Mm-hmm.
make sure I get that donation information, put it in my inbox because I didn't catch it.
Okay.
So put it in
Actually,
if I can donate.
actually, I got it on the screen right now. So when you go back look at the rebroadcast, you'll see I got it right there on the screen. I'm keeping it on the screen the whole time, so I don't want nobody that's watching or listening to us to miss what it is or what the cash app is. But it's $ DONNAGREE and the number 1. Donna, is that correct?
That's correct.
Good deal. Good deal.
Okay.
Absolutely. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, I want to make sure we take advantage of this opportunity to listen to different ways that we could prevent this from happening again.
Mm-hmm.
When we speak of awareness, she's saying some key words: awareness, vulnerable, community. She's saying key words that is getting by people. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad everybody's speaking up about the things that they're doing in the prayers, but man, it's a message that needs to be heard. She's speaking about people being their brother's keeper. She's speaking about the village, preventing things like this that happens because a child is vulnerable. No 2-month-old, 2-year-old, or 4-year-old can stop a grown person from doing anything. And this is nothing new. This happened in 1978, and we still have people coming up missing, children coming up missing. So it's up to the community to start looking at things when they are out of place, when things don't look right. You know, don't get me wrong. You're not supposed to be suspicious about everything. You're not supposed to walk around with your head on a swivel all the time. But at the same time, you have to be aware of the atmosphere we live in. Mm-hmm. And this atmosphere we live in, it needs to be aware of 16-year-old young adults or young children having babies. It needs to be aware of the responsibility that 16-year-old will have for protecting and providing for that child from this point on. Some 16-year-olds or some young parents aren't cooperative. They don't listen. So you have to wash your hands, but you can't wash your hands of those babies. So what you do, you sit back from a distance and you still keep an eye out for them. You still look out the front door every now and then to see if those babies running across the street with their wet pampers, butt naked or whatever. You still look to see if the children are being left at home by themselves, left vulnerable for somebody to do something. You might see the parents doing things that you know can be very dangerous to that child. And at the same time, I like what she said, that this world we live in now is all about me, mine, I. I did this, I did that. I wouldn't know what I would do. If it was mine, I would do this and that. Man, what about hers? What about her child? I know what I would do if it was my child, but what would I do if I saw somebody else's child outside at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning? Would I just mind my business? Or would I go and try to be an asset or a benefit to my community? See, I don't care whose child it is. These babies are vulnerable. And we have to be very, very careful and mindful of the type of people that's coming around these vulnerable children. The vulnerable adults, disabled, handicapped adults, people have been abused and kidnapped and trafficked left and right all the time. And it's up to the community, it's up to the human race to sort of help prevent some of this stuff that's going on and be there for those that are vulnerable to this atmosphere that we're living in.
Absolutely, absolutely. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm really honored to know Donna and to becoming a part of her journey, trying to help others and help her son, because I'm partnering with her to develop a TV show on Bop Network, where we are going to have, we actually have a channel for missing and exploited children. So we'll be having her do interviews with families that are looking for their, it's so many, guys.
Yeah, that's good.
It is staggering the amount of children that are missing and around this country that nobody is paying any attention to. Some may be dead, some may be being harvested, some may be being sexually exploited. It's so much, and people are not paying attention, especially in our community. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
We are not paying attention.
Wow.
You know, so it's just, you know, we got to do better, you know, and to me, getting involved in whatever way you can, whether it's, you know, looking out for other people, whether it's donating to organizations like Donna's, or, you know, you need to pay attention to what's happening around you.
Exactly. Donna, what's on your heart, sis?
Cassandra said a great thing, you know, about paying attention. Think about this. Everybody that's on the line now, if you all go out and you, because what we need a lot. We need our strong men. We need you all to look out for us. We need y'all to be aware when y'all in the community. We need y'all to just, you know, stand up and be who you are in our community. That's what we need. And if each one of you all go out and y'all tell y'all friends, hey, look, you know, we got to be more aware. We got to be more aware. This is happening and that is happening, whatever. Can you just imagine how big it can get when you out? And I was in a store the other day. And it's 3 kids. Maybe one is 3. The other one should have been about 5, and the other one would have been about 6. The lady left the children in the car with the car running, and she went in the store. When I came out, I stood there. The children let down their window and just started talking to me. And I know I stood out there with those children for about 15, 20 minutes before this lady came out. And when she came out, she was a young girl, I told her, I said, man, you can't leave these children in the car. You know, I went to talking to her. She paid that no attention. She just like, and just bagged on off. You know, but just think about had it had been somebody else that really didn't care or looking for a child. You know what I'm saying? Perfect opportunity right there. Perfect opportunity. Some young people, they don't care and they don't get it. It don't matter. I've seen people say, well, that's her child. Something happens. Well, she's going to be hollering and screaming, then it's going to be too late. No. No, we got to do our part. We need y'all men. We need y'all to stand up. We need y'all to be more aware. We need y'all not to be just about my family and me and my. We need y'all to be about the community, about us. Wherever you go, even if you just running in the gas station for a minute, while you're in that gas station, look around. Look around. Just while you right there, just look around. Because if we don't get that not on my watch mentality wherever we go, because it could be because of you that somebody else is saved today. Because they out there everywhere. They everywhere. We everywhere too. It's just that they're everywhere and they are aware. We're everywhere and we're not aware. That's
Exactly.
the difference.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Rico, you had a question?
Yeah, I wanted to ask her, coming from the position she came from, being 16, you know, because I didn't hear her mention anything about her parents, so I don't know if it was because she was rebellious or because of what they were doing, you know, because sometimes the parents just aren't good parents, and so we are left to fend for ourselves. I've been on my own since 11, so it ain't always the child all the time. But coming from the aspect of a 16-year-old young teen mother that went through this, what kind of advice could she give to any 16-year-old child, female, pregnant or not pregnant? What kind of advice could she give them that would hit close to home, but at the same time not sound like a horror story? Because, you know, this is not a story that every teenage mother would expect to hear. And this is not a situation that it would expect to go through. And most people, I'm pretty sure she didn't expect to go through this until it happened. When it happened, and she was like, man, who would imagine this is something that I would have had to go through with my baby? But so what is it that she could, what could she tell a 16-year-old child, a teen mother, that's really may be rebellious or may not, or may just be neglected? What can she do to prevent them? Advice can she give them to sort of keep them from going through the same similar situation?
Donna?
First of all, just be careful. Be aware of who you're around. Listen to those. I call them antennas. When your antenna go up, or when you got some kind of alert within your body, be aware of that. Be aware and just know that if you're in that position, or you have a baby, or you pregnant, or whatever, the main thing that you got to do is you just got to do everything that you can to keep yourself and keep your baby safe. Because we don't want to say it, but somebody already done looked at you or saw that. Somebody already done peeked you and that baby. Whether they ever do anything or not, somebody already done saw you. And that's just not with pregnant, that's with all of us. Somebody's watching and waiting on the opportunity. And don't just assume that nobody's not waiting on the opportunity, because they are. So with your baby, you keep that baby close. Don't let everybody hold your baby. Don't let everybody keep your baby. Don't let everybody around your baby. We used to do that. To do that. Don't do that.
Exactly.
Don't do that. I'm a living witness. Don't do that. Don't just automatic, because sometimes you don't know people, but they just trying to befriend you. They want that baby. So you just gotta be careful. I don't want people living, thinking that it's always gonna happen or whatever like that, but just be more aware. Take my story and tell that story. When you talk to your young teens and you telling them, the ones that's pregnant, and you telling them, hey, be careful with that baby, and they don't want to hear all that. Tell them my story.
Exactly.
Maybe that'll make them be more careful. What I'm saying? Tell them the story. Maybe that will, because they let people. I see these young girls, and they got these babies, and they passing these babies around, and this, that, and the other. And you try to talk to them. Sometimes they don't want to hear it for their own reasons. I was a rebellious. Had that baby at 15. I was looking for love in all the wrong places. Yes, I was. And that happened to me. That happened to me. So just talk to them, because everybody coming from a place, But sometimes they may not listen to you, but if you give a scenario or a situation, they may pay attention to that.
Donna, what have your story, in hindsight and looking back over your story from the time you were 16 up until today, what have your story taught you?
to be aware, to
Mm-hmm.
not be so naive, to
Mm-hmm.
listen to that intuition. And that was the main thing, to just listen to my intuition, to not be so quick to talk. Because I hear people, and I say that because I hear people say, this other young lady, somebody went in the window and took her baby. And the baby was like 15 months old. Somebody went in the window and took the baby. And I happened to be in the store, and they had it up on the TV, and some people were standing around listening to it. And somebody was like, I don't believe that. She did something to that baby. I don't believe that. And everybody went to talking. And it kind of offended me a little bit because I'm coming from a place. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, it happens. You can't walk in and take your baby. I don't believe that. Well, maybe she did do something to the baby. Maybe she didn't. You know, they still haven't found that little girl. And it's been a couple of years. They still haven't found that little girl. So, you know, just not be so quick to say anything. But that has humbled me. It has humbled me in so many ways. I think what I went through, I had to go through to make me be able to do the work I'm doing now. I had to go through all that. And I felt like at 16, because me and my mom didn't have a good relationship. My mama was a provider, and that's what she was. She kept a roof over our head, but she wasn't a nurturer by no sense. So, you know, I felt like I had to go through that on my own. And so it made me humble. It was hard, but it made me humble.
Exactly. Exactly. Toya, you want to see what's on your heart, sis? Toya? Okay, Toya may be away for a second. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Yeah, you know, I have I'm with Donna when it comes to everything. For me is about awareness. We can't make a change if we're not aware of the things that are going on. But when something is presented to us, then we have that opportunity to really pay attention and say, you know what, I'm going to do something about this. I'm
Yes.
going to be more aware. I'm going to, you know what I'm saying? So, but awareness for me is everything. I don't care if it's missing children, sexual abuse, domestic violence. I spend my life trying to make people aware of the things that are happening around them.
That's good. That's good. Now, Donna, let me ask you this question before I go to anybody else. And Bishop, I'm actually going to come to you next. But outside of financial support, if somebody wanted to support you in some other way, if they didn't have the finances, what else, other outside of prayer, of course, how can someone else support you? How could they support you? What can they do to assist you in assisting other people going through these same and similar situations?
I'm always looking for volunteers. I'm always looking for volunteers, and I'm always looking for a platform to come out and teach people about safety prevention and awareness. So you got a church and you got kids there and everything. The parents, you know, I would love to come out and talk to them, teach them about, you know, being safe and everything. You know, any platform that you can come, that you have, that you think I could be an asset to come and talk to them about safety and prevention and awareness. I'm always looking to do that, and we're always looking for volunteers. We're looking for rain.
Good deal. Good deal. Bishop, what's on your heart?
The question that you asked, and I love it because it is not always about money, even though she needs the money through the nonprofit. And there are so many other nonprofits out there, man, that pretend to do. But I tell you, with Donna, she does. And so I'm going to continue to sing her praise, man, based on what I know about her. And I've known Donna for, goodness gracious, better than over 30 years. I knew her husband before he passed. And, you know, Donna, you know, I look at it like this. When I deal with Donna Louise Green, then I'm in a great place.
Hold on, Bishop. Did you put a whole name out there, man? Did you just say lay the whole name, Bishop? Lord, my Jesus. Cassandra, what we going to do with Bishop?
All right, Gregory Lee.
Well, y'all just putting whole names out there. Lord, my Jesus. Cassandra, what is going on, Cassandra? How do we get to this place?
Hey, like that's inside thing between me and Donna. Donna decided she wanted to give me a middle name, so I gave her a middle name. But this is the kind of person she is.
Yeah.
even in the midst of her turmoil or her situation of losing her son, she still has a very upbeat personality.
Yeah.
She is a great person to be around, man, and that's my sister.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, she called on me or she presents something to me. If I'm available, she know I'm gonna come through for her. But here, she needs to give her website. She needs to give her Cash App. And if anyone that's listening, and I'm not saying don't do nobody else. You do whatever you want to do. But for me, for Donna, what she's been doing, she never gave up. She never gave up the search.
Mm-hmm.
She never quit. But in our society or our community, I'm gonna say it just like this. They don't consider the life of a black person or a black child that's missing.
Mm-hmm.
They may have a little story about it, but you know they got this new law called Matters Law. Why don't they have a Raymond's Law? He's black,
Mm-hmm.
so you know they'll look for the little white child.
Well, that depends if you're low class or upper class.
Say what?
So that depends if you're upper class or low class.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if all it depending on upper class, lower class, because they do highlight, and I know for a fact from my perspective in law enforcement that what we do, they'll talk about it, a black child that's missing, and they will do it. But then the first thing they want to say, as Donald was saying, oh, she must have did something to that child. She probably stole it. She probably killed it. You know how folks hear about that insurance money. I'm gonna tell you, this is what I hear in the black community. This is exactly what I hear. This is what I've heard. And even with some of my fellow law officers, they sat around and after the roll call and said, man, I don't believe that. I believe she took that child. I believe she did something.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I speak, I don't speak from the sidelines of just saying something. I've been in the midst of the conversation as it relates to these issues. And I've always been very optimistic as it relates to the situation. No, man, let's go do this. Let's not assume that. Let's not get this. Our job is to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I always do. Well, Donna's job, her mission by God, is to help to try to make families whole by helping to find the children that have been taken. And some of these children are sold on the black market because some families can't have children. So they want a child and they'll pay thousands of dollars just to get a child.
Mm-hmm.
So what Donna's doing, I'm going to say it again, she is bringing awareness to an issue that the world faces. It's not a United States thing. This is a situation across the world. And if I can take a child from America and send them to England or to someone, Spain or wherever, France, so that somebody who can't have a child get a child, well, they're going to be happy for it.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be very happy to get that child. They'll pay the dollar for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Donna don't stop. She hasn't quit. She hasn't given up. So let's give her a round of applause.
Absolutely.
And let her know, hey, we're here for you, Donna.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Kay with the E, what's on your heart?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Kay, what's on your heart?
You know I gotta find that mute button.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to do laundry. But that's true. That's very true. I have a friend, she's the first time grandma and she don't understand why her mama is way so far out and don't want the baby to come to the city. I said, cuz you got all those people in and out your door all the time. I ain't mad at her. She don't want everybody all around that baby. Next thing you know, that baby, if she don't break out with something, somebody gonna steal it.
Mm-hmm.
She said, you don't think somebody? I said, they stealing grown people. Literally. I didn't even know. I watched it happen in front of me at Walgreens. And I was like, my son came out the store and I said, that foreigner just put that homeless guy in the car with him and the other homeless guy was telling him don't go. And he was like, he going and he did his hands like he got to go make this money. I said, they ain't gonna never see that homeless guy again in life. And then the police came up there. The police, what I seen, I said, y'all up here because another homeless guy stealing when a whole nother homeless guy just got took. I said, I didn't even think to take a picture of the tag because it just shocked me. It was just a shock. So I'm like, we never, like, that was a shock when I should have been taking pictures of the tag. But I did report it, and that man was in that store shopping, and y'all got to have pictures of it. Y'all got pictures of this whole parking lot. So y'all should be able to track that car down. And the police officer just looked at me. I told him, and I'm serious. I said, I'm dead serious. I just watched it. He picked that man up and took him with him. And the other guy. So when everybody left or whatever, and I'm still sitting there, I asked the other homeless guy, I said, why you didn't want him to go? He said, because I see a lot of people leave this corner and they don't never come back.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Wow. Wow.
and these are grown people, grown men
Mm-hmm.
that this foreigner picked up and took back with him. And he had Nebraska plates and everything. Little old beat up car. Like, it probably ain't even his car. That car probably even got burnt up somewhere. And he'll tell her how many people he put in that car.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what's good? We had a group of black people right here in Kansas City on Nolan Road at a hotel. They were young black people, and they were sex trafficking young kids. And they were with kids where they had 7 kids.
Wow.
In the greater Kansas area. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's sad.
It's
like
I'm
right
you,
there.
it's
So
it's dangerous. It's dangerous out there, man. It's very dangerous out there, and people, people take it for granted. I think people really take it for granted. Badger, what's on your heart? Badger, Rico, talk to you, bro.
What's up?
Yeah, no, I was asking what's on your heart, bro.
Oh, just talking about kids is always a sore subject with me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. That's good. Teach them, brother. Teach them. Rico, what's on your heart?
You know, like I said, man, that was from the very beginning. You know, I think my first comment was about acknowledging the fact that I think her race played a part in it not being taken so serious. You know, I don't know if people really paid attention, but you got to think about it, man. She didn't even have record of her first report of a child being stolen or kidnapped.
Exactly.
You know, that's a lot of non-concern, non-compassion, inconsideration,
non-caring
for another human being, for a mother. Mm-hmm. Not only a mother, but a 16-year-old vulnerable mother with a vulnerable baby. You got 2 grown adult white male cops that didn't care enough to even make a report about her human child. This was in 1978. This wasn't in 1678. 1978, not 1778, 1978. They didn't care about that black baby's life. They didn't care about how the mama felt. You know, that's been historical. So now it's on us in our community to start being aware, keeping our head on the swivel. I tell a story a lot of times about me saving this little child's life from drowning one time. All these adults were around, and everybody walked in the house because they were so intrigued by each other that the mama even forgot about her baby and left her baby out there vulnerable by a swimming pool. And I saw this play out, and that baby fell into a hot tub, and I saved it. Everybody ran outside when they heard the baby crying. Now, I was aware that the situation could be a possibility. If they're not paying attention to this child may fall into this swimming pool or to this hot tub. That's what you're supposed to do when you have a pool or a hot tub. You got to make precautions because somebody might get by. But just like that baby fell in that swimming pool and all the adults were gone and walked in the house and forgot about it, they forgot I was even out there. Somebody could have snatched that baby in the same instance.
Yeah.
See, it doesn't matter. It does matter, but nobody can dictate what harm could come to that child. But you leave that child vulnerable, anything can happen. So it's up to us in the community as adults to know that once before we were children once before. It was times that we were vulnerable and things happened to us and there wasn't nobody around to help us or stop it or protect us. And so as we become adults, we say, well, you know what? I'm going to make sure that not only my child, but nobody else's child is in a situation where something can happen to them and nobody there is watching or can help them. So if a child is in my vicinity, if a child is in my neighborhood, if there are children in my apartment complex or in wherever, in my subdivision, I'm going to always keep an eye out for the best benefit and safety of those children, because I know this is a cruel world we live in, and anything can happen. Not hoping for the bad or just harboring or looking for the bad in life, but at the same time, you can't be naive because that's what causes these situations. Naive and non-concerned.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. Toy, you want to take you back with us? I think we lost Toya there. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Then we're gonna close out with you, young lady.
I'm so grateful for the strength that I have seen in Donna. We've known each other for a short time, but I feel like our connection, we just, I was a young mother. I was a mother at 15, a teen mother. And we don't know a lot of stuff, but we're trying to do the best that we can. And for her to have taken that painful episode in her life and turned it into what she is doing now, which is advocacy and activism. So she's taken, like she said, taken that pain and turned it into purpose. And that is what we need to do with the things that hit us the hardest. We should take those things and take that pain and turn it into something good. If the Bible says that all things work together for good to them that love the Lord and are the called according to his purpose, then that means that whatever happens, even if it's the most tragic of things, God can use that to get glory from it. Absolutely. And I believe that's what he's doing now through Donna's life.
Absolutely. Donna, we're going to close with you anyway. Give us your contact information for a person to get in contact with you, how they can support you, anything that you want to say in your closing. It's on you, sis. What's on your heart?
My contact information, my email address is looking2Raymond2@gmail.com. That's looking4Raymond2@gmail.com. My phone number is 423-755-1050. Again, that's 423-755-1050. I just want to say that I thank y'all so much for the platform. Absolutely. And all of the comments and everything. Thank y'all so much, Cassandra, Greg, Raheem. I really appreciate all of y'all. And if you could just go out and talk to your male friends and ask them to be aware. We need y'all to be strong in our community. Just talk to whoever you can. And if you get that mentality and not on my watch, and not just the babies, even the children. Listen to what the teenagers are not saying, because they're in a place too. That's why they're becoming trafficked, and that's why they're running away. We just got to be aware of what's going on. And like I said, the internet can help you out a lot with things that you don't know, with languages that you don't understand, that the teenagers are using, with websites that they're using that you don't know about. Go on the internet, educate yourself so you can educate others. And please, if nothing else, just get that not on my watch mentality and go out there. When you out there, just be aware.
Exactly. Rico, what's going on at 3:00 today, sir?
Got to get it on mute. You had me stuck on mute then. If you missed today's show and you'd like to catch it in its entirety, you can tune in at www.dkmmediagroup.com at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Good deal. Cassandra, we're going to lean on you for the prayer. Is that okay?
Father, we just thank you right now for everything that has been said and done on this broadcast and from these panelists, God. I pray that everyone within the sound of my voice, God, would realize that we all can play a part in making a difference in our communities, in our states, in our cities, and even in our world, God. Just one word can sometimes change a person's life. So, God, help us to be aware of the things that are going on around us. Help us to be involved, God. And like the sister said, Donna, not on my watch. That is something I say all the time. Don't let something wicked happen on your watch if you can make the difference. Father, we thank you right now for DKM Media. We ask you to continue to bless Raheem and this entire group of panelists. Use us, God, for your glory. These and all other blessings we ask and pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Well, I want to thank you all for joining us. I want to thank you all for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 10 o'clock straight up. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. Now we shine some of this light on you from the morning glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. You ought, if you get an opportunity to give somebody some love, you just might get some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Y'all have a great day. And do me a favor, take care of each other. Love you.